Okay, I think we're recording right now. I'm gonna try it. See if that will help out a little bit. Lightens things up, moves things around a little bit. Okay. So what I want to go over today is specifically with the Crazy Ivan trade. And I'm going to show two examples, one good, one bad. And then I'm going to look for another trade after that. I'll push pause and there'll be a little break and then I'll find another specific trade. But this is why I fell in love with the Crazy Ivan. And this is the Crazy Ivan to avoid. So with that being said, I'm going to flip the charts over. We are looking back. We're at Monday. So this last Monday at about 8:20 in the morning. Okay. So this little bar right here is considered a crazy item. I'm going to show you why this bar versus this bar are completely different. Okay. So if you look at the timing, it's all about the timing. It's all about the timing. You got to get the timing just right, and pay attention to when that next bar forms. So here we go. So this crazy Ivan was at 8:10. Okay. The minute before that, the bar before that closed at 8:08. And then the bar after that closed at 8:15. That's not a good crazy Ivan. We do not want that trade. Okay. So when crazy Ivans don't go sequential in minutes, boom, 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 then we know that the market's not continually moving down. It's basically people taking profits and then going. It almost looks like a transition bar. And so, but what happened was kind of unusual. What happened just a few minutes later in the same downward movement is this one right here. This one closed, this bar closed at 8:22. Now here's kind of the cool thing about this. Had a little red bar right before it at 8:21, and this is why I'm getting excited. Okay, so it goes 8:21 and then 8:22, that crazy Ivan, then 8:23 and then 8:24. When crazy Ivans go in sequential minutes, boom, 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 that's gold. Okay. That's where you need to like just load up on the contracts and then just take that next trade. Okay. Take that next bar. And that's what I love to see. Not the one before it. The one before it, and it took me a while. It took me a while because I'm like, why what am I missing here? What am I missing? So I talked to Court and I'm like, Court, what's going on? He's like, well, that's because they're different. I was like, oh my goodness, how did I miss that? So anyways, I'm gonna push pause just for a second and see if I can find another one. They don't happen very often, but when they do, you got to go all in, okay? So let's press pause just for a sec. Okay, so here's two crazy Ivans, but both of these are no-goes. So as you remember, this one closed at 9:14. The minute before that, the bar before that was at 9:12, so we don't this doesn't qualify. And the one up here, this closed at 9:23, this bar did. 9:24, I'm thinking, woohoo, let's do this. But then the very next bar closed at 9:26. That's a no-go, okay? So these two are no-go. Don't do those crazy Ivans. You would have lost money. Potentially, most likely. All right, I'm gonna keep scrolling through so you can find some more. Okay, this is how rare it is. I'm on the very next day. I'm on Tuesday. There was a couple that came almost really close, but didn't work out. This is this is potential. Let me show you this one. Okay, so we're looking right here. This bar closed at 7:55 in the morning, Tuesday morning, and the minute before that was at 7:52. This is 7:55 now, but here's the thing. The next bar closed at 7:56 and then 7:57. I'm always the bar afterwards, okay? That I'd probably do. I'd probably take that one. I wouldn't necessarily back up all the contracts and be like, "Ooh, let's go all in," but I definitely 3 or 4 contract trade right there almost every single time. So I found another one. So let me keep looking and let's see what else we can find. Okay, yes, I found one. Now this trade is roughly one a day, one every other day. Okay. And so now we're on Wednesday, right? So the last trade I told you about on Tuesday, and it's still okay if you decided not to. Found one on Wednesday. Okay. This happened at 1 o'clock Central Standard Time at 1:30. Let me show this. Let me show this to you. This is why I get excited about these crazy Ivan trades. So at 13:53, and then here's the crazy Ivan right here, 13:54. Now these two happening back to back like that, and then here we go. That's why I'm like, all right, well maybe 13:55. Okay, boom in, boom there. There's the trade. Plus it has a parlay too. So I know the orange line's on top, but great place to take a trade. 13:56 right there. So this is a rare trade. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, back the contracts up and get your 10 ticks. I don't know if it goes 20 ticks. I haven't looked back at the candles, but definitely 10, 12 ticks. I do max contracts. I do 6 contracts in that thing and call it an easy day. So I'm gonna look for it one more. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, it's about a one a day trade, one every other day. You'll notice it, but it does need to be an arrow in your quiver just for an extra option, so that way you have something to trade. Okay, so let me flip back, and I'm gonna pause myself, and I'll keep on looking. Okay, cross fingers. A couple more, maybe. Yes. Okay, I found another one. I'm super excited about this one. So again, another day. So now we're on to Wednesday, the February 28th. Okay, so we started on, oh man, it was a couple days ago, but here's another one. 8 o'clock, 8:48 in the morning. So most of us are trading this time of the day. And so this crazy Ivan closed at 8:48. Okay. Minute before that, 8:47, and then 8:49, and then 8:50. Big drop, dude. Oh man, that was huge. So some seven, was that four down to 87? So almost a $17 drop. So that is a good, easy 20 ticks right there. So fantastic. Again, the reason why this crazy avenue works is that you have 8:47, that bar closed at 8:48. The very next minute, the bar and the whole entire momentum, the long-term trend was still moving down. And the momentum's still going, the price is being pushed down. So that's why you're like, okay, if this bar closes in the sell, I'm getting in. And one of the few times where I'm like, I'm gonna load up on all my contracts and then I'm going to get at least 10 ticks, and then I put, have my stop loss right there, or my trailing stop right there. I had to think what it was for a second, and then hopefully it pushes all the way to 20. Uh, Great trade. Only happens one a day, every other day, something like that. But just one of those things you need to be aware of. There was a lot that came really close to it, but for some reason they didn't quite hit the criteria about it. Uh, so all right, I only got a few more minutes. Let me see if I can catch one or two more before we stop. So I can put myself on pause again and see what we can do. Okay, right on target. I found another one at the very next day. So this is like I said, one a day trade. Um, and let me show you this one. So this one we're at Thursday, 10:28 Central Standard Time, and this bar. Let me increase the size for us all. Uh, there you go. Thank you. So this closed at 10:28, but the bar before that closed at 10:27. So I'm thinking maybe, maybe, maybe. And then sure enough, 10:29 and then 10:30. You enter in here, plus you get the parse. So that's just a beautiful trade to make. All right, anyways, so that is the Crazy Ivan trade. I know a number of you talked about it with me, and I just had to narrow down with Court to say this is what it is. He's like, well, that's because you have to watch the time. I'm like, oh, yeah, thank you for reminding me. So add this to your repertoire. Put this arrow in your quiver. Uh, one more bowling ball in your bowling bag. An extra club in your. All right, I'll stop. Anyways, this is a good one. Again, if you see that sequential happen, it's about one a day, give or take. Load up on the contracts, get your at least your 10 ticks, and you can call it good on that one if you sit there and watch and wait for it. And hopefully we catch it when I'm talking live too. The very next yeah, the very next one I'm gonna talk about, well, I'll make another video on this one, is a little Stoogie trade. Fun little trade. Happens a couple times a day, I think. I'll verify that just off the top of my memory. But it's very recognizable. And I'll tell you when I get in, I got to make sure I say that correctly. When I like to get in on those and when I get out. Okay. So there's Crazy Ivan. If you have any questions about that, then just go ahead and let me know. And I go over it again. I'll make another video about it. But I hope everyone has a fantastic week coming up here. Be very picky. And just remember, like if you just make a couple $100 every single day, that adds up over a long time. And then as you build your account, you could then get more and more fun and more crazy, but just a couple $100 every single day. Be satisfied with that, okay? Don't let your pride go in there to be like, okay, I gotta get this done. I gotta like this is my retirement plan right away. It's like, no, 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 get good, okay? You gotta get good at just making a couple $100 every single day with what you got. And then we can start layering in on the other accounts with it all because then all those accounts can make a couple $100 a day. And yeah, that's when the change happens. But it does take time, it does take practice, and it does take a whole lot of discipline. Okay. But it does pay off too. So, all right, guys, I will see you next video with the little Stoogie trade. But that concludes our trading on the Crazy Ivan.